Yeah, like the distortion is to self most of the time. And that's actually why I said one of the things that good sense-making requires is a lot more courage, but also a lot more humility. Because one of the main problems is faulty overconfidence. And then there is a failure on the other side, which is to simply embrace not confidence, but give up on sense-making. I got no idea what the fuck's going on. I'm playing video games. Or I got no idea what's true, so I'm going to vote for a strongman leader that I think will at least protect me in war. Right? So we can see the number of Russian citizens that say that they think Putin is lying, even to them, in the news, but also still support him. Because they don't think that truth is a possibility, and that a good, strong politician facing huge opponents and enemies like the West has to lie, and they at least think that he's going to keep them safe and serve their interests better than some other people would. And so you can see there, when people's epistemic certainty is low, and they don't know how to make good choices for themselves or what's true, they start defecting to wanting strongman leaders more. We see this in the US right now. You can also see that because strongman leaders know that, helping to decrease everyone's epistemic certainty is actually in their interest. And that will always lead in the direction of dictatorship towards despotism. And if we want anything like a more democratic or more republic process where more people are engaged in their own governance, they have to do the sense-making to be able to meaningfully engage with other people that they are going to be bound with. And if you don't want to, and you don't commit to do what it takes to be actively informed and civically engaged, then you consent to be ruled by those who seek to rule. If you are willing to just adopt belief systems based on who the dominant group think closest to you that seems to serve your interests is, then you are consenting to be ruled and to the descent towards that particular kind of dictatorship. And if you want something like a democratized process, democracy doesn't mean voting. It means a process by which more people are engaged in their own governance, of which voting is one tool. But the Founding Fathers said voting is the death of democracy. I forget, I think it was Jefferson said it, because the democracy really meant, can more of us engage in better conversations than the monarch says what happens, right? Or the whatever kind of rulership there is. And to the degree we have a town hall where we have an actual good, earnest dialectic conversation, we might not even need to vote because we come up with something where we all agree that's a good idea. And the vote is, if we can't, to sublimate physical warfare with a voting warfare, right? But it's actually a warfare where some people are now actually unhappy with the way the whole thing is moving forward, but they at least think that still participating with that system is better than defecting on it and going into war, so they're willing to do it and try again in the next 4 years, right? Or whatever the next thing is. But if we want something other than despotism, the only way to check power... Actually, this is an important point that I would like to make in closing. Anyone who has asymmetric power, whether that's more money or political power or cultural influence or whatever, and usually those come together, right? More money also means that I can buy cultural influence through media and marketing and paying other people to say things that are aligned with what I want, and being able to pay lobbyists and campaign budgets to get political power. So we can just talk about power itself and all of those as expressions. Those who have more power within a power asymmetry both have the incentive and the capacity to maintain that power asymmetry and increase it. So they have the ability to make news that does the bidding of that has the populace believe things that continue to serve them having more power in that system. They can get representation, they can create technologies, they can corner markets, they can, whatever it is, corner scarce resources that allow them to continue doing that, they can suppress opponents.